This is Renelle, and welcome to Quality Hang with Rod Brooks and friends. And here he is now, your host, my main man, Rod Brooks.
Thank you very much, Renelle. I am Rod Brooks, and indeed, this is a Quality Hang. And as always, I'm joined on this broadcasting adventure by my friend, my partner in crime, the co-host of Quality Hang. He is Marcus Osborne. What up, dog? How you
What's
doing?
happening, man? Was that animated open? Has it always been like that?
I mean, we're going to pull back the curtain here. So we use a program called StreamYard, and for whatever they like to tweak and make changes to it, seemingly randomly. And it's been just whacked out over these last few weeks. So yeah, there was something different about it. And I don't know if you can see this banner at the bottom of the screen. It says StreamYard live viewer comments show up on StreamYard. This is you can see that. Can everyone see that? Yeah, anyway, I don't know why this is here, and I just figured out how to get rid of it. Okay, great. Yeah, so StreamYard, the program we've been using it's been tripping. Let's put it that way. So I don't know what the hell's going on with it, but regardless, we are here. However infrequently, we are bringing you Quality Hang. We are here tonight. And we always appreciate you guys hanging with us and being patient with us. As always, we start the show by thanking our presenting sponsor, the fine folks at Hop Monk Taverns, 3 locations to choose from: Sonoma, Sebastopol, and in Novato. And at all 3 locations, they all do the same great things: fantastic food from a wildly diverse menu, a craft beer selection that's absolutely out of this world, and a live entertainment selection that is out of this world as well. I went by one of their locations last night, and it was having a burlesque show.
Nice.
Exactly. That's what I said. I'm like, okay, all right, Hop Monk, I'm down with it. So you can see touring acts from around the country. My favorite thing about what Hop Monk does, as far as live music, live entertainment, is that it's a place for local artists to be seen, and the selection is wildly diverse. Yeah, you could get kind of a straight music deal. You can also be there for open mic comedy night. You could go there for country line dancing night, or you could go for the burlesque show. Either way, just like the food and the craft beer selection, there's something for everybody at all 3 Hop Monk locations. So make sure you check them out in Sonoma, Sebastopol, or in Novato. Yeah. So yeah, live burlesque show.
Not mad at it.
Thumbs up. Not mad at that at all. So let's get started here. And listen, man, it's been kind of a heavy few days. Just life be lifing, as they say. And it's the holidays, so there's some excitement about that. But the holidays can get hectic and stressful, and it is just stupid cold in Northern California, and the fog is just depressing. So
insane.
We got a lot going on now, but let's not lose sight of the fact, and maybe you can use this bit of information that I'm going to pass along to kind of propel you, through these times that are challenging. All of this is happening around us, but can we as a country, can we all come together to enjoy the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs and the Dallas Cowboys have both been eliminated from playoff contention? Can we find a way, with all of the hullabaloo going on this holiday season, and with life just life, and can we just enjoy that we ain't got to deal with the Chiefs, and we could continue to laugh at the Cowboys being a completely clown show of an organization? Neither one of those 2 organizations, neither one of those 2 franchises, and neither one of those 2 clown ass fan bases are going to enjoy any meaningful football for the rest of the year. Can we at least appreciate that?
I mean, it might be a little bit more palatable if Patrick Mahomes hadn't tore up his knee.
Oh, yeah. No. We don't wish for anyone to get hurt.
Sucks.
Yeah, man. Hated to see that. Hated to see Micah Parsons get hurt.
Micah
That's just
Parsons,
the nature of the beast. Yeah, hate to see anybody get hurt. But putting that aside, let's not forget to hate on the Cowboys and on the Chiefs specifically. Ding dong, the Wicked Witch is dead. Okay, so, a house had to fall on her. Shit happens, okay? Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL. Yo, man, that's football. So that's the equivalent of a house falling on Patrick Mahomes. We don't wish that on anybody, but damn. Maybe
and they were probably going to win that game too.
Yeah, they would have absolutely found a way to win that game. Gardner Minshew comes in and he Gardner Minshew that bad boy up. He threw an interception and it's over. So, the Texans, the Texans got the Chiefs to bleed out last Sunday, and then the Chargers just finished the job. And yeah, we hate to see that for Patrick Mahomes, but we don't hate to see the Chiefs eat a hot one. Not at all. Or at least I don't. And I don't think I'm alone in how I feel about this. Yeah, the Chiefs eating a hot one feels real, real good. I mean, it had been going on for too long. Their reign of terror had gone on for far too long.
They won a division 9 years straight, something like that.
Yeah, which just shows you how garbage the AFC West has been for the last decade or so, while recognizing, of course, that the Chiefs were a supremely talented football team. But quite frankly, enough was enough.
Ooh. Well, that sucks because now they're going to probably get a decent draft pick somewhere and maybe a wide receiver, and they'll be right back at it.
Well, who knows how long it's going to take for Patrick Mahomes to come back from his ACL injury. But yeah, it is one of those things where enjoy it now, because I can remember, however vaguely, but I can remember we thought that when the first part of the Patriots dynasty was over, we thought, oh, it's great. We don't have to worry about the Patriots anymore. Yeah. And what did they do? Rip off 3 more Super Bowls. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened again. But that's not going to harsh my mellow right now. Mm-mm. I'm enjoying the fact that the Chiefs are done and the Cowboys have a 1% chance of making the playoffs.
Damn, dude, that is a trip. Like, we really did think it was over. When Brady tore that knee up, I was like, oh, well, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Then when he turned 40, I was like, oh, this will be a wrap.
Oh, it's a wrap.
Then when he left the Patriots, I thought, oh, it's a wrap.
Oh, it's a wrap. Then he won another Super Bowl.
Like, goddamn.
And he's looking at Phillip Rivers right now going, shit, if he can do it, I can do it. That's one of the damnedest things I've ever seen in sports for Phillip Rivers. And listen, it was nothing spectacular. He threw the ball, I think he was 15 for 28, 4.4 yards per attempt. I watched all 28 dropbacks to get ready for the Niners Colts game next week. This time they're going to play on Monday night. And it was all 3-step drops. It was boom, 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 and either get the ball out quick or hitch to move up in the pocket. But still, they were all just short passes. But to watch a 44-year-old man get off his couch and come and play a real-life professional football game in the year 2025, that's one of the against the Seahawks. It's one of the best defenses in football. That's one of the damnedest things I've ever seen.
I don't know what they were trying to accomplish. Like, I don't know what they thought they were going to do by bringing that dude in off the couch.
I mean, but they almost pulled it off. I was extremely skeptical of it, but the thing about it, and people then, with Phillip Rivers, well, why not Cam Newton? Why not Colin Kaepernick? Listen,
fair.
But no, but it's not. It's not, because the NFL is a relationship business, and it's do you know our system? Okay, do you know how we do things? Phillip Rivers, Shane Steichen, the Indianapolis Colts, they know each other. Phillip Rivers knows that offense, and they're able to basically plug and play with him because he knows exactly what they want to do. I'm not saying that Cam Newton could not do better from a physical standpoint, all right? But Cam Newton doesn't have an intimate knowledge of how the Colts like to get down offensively in their pass game. So they didn't have to get Phillip Rivers up to speed. Like, that's where they won on this. Yeah, he didn't throw a spiral the entire game. Yeah, his arm strength is absolutely gone, but he knew exactly what they wanted to do, what he needed to do within the framework of that offense, and he was able to get the ball out quickly, and he didn't do anything to hurt him. He threw a touchdown and had one interception. So the cheat code of that was you could literally plug and play with Phillip Rivers. I understood that. I didn't think from a physical standpoint, going up against Seattle's defense, that he would be able to last the entire game and even think about actually playing another game, the next game against the Niners. He was able to pull that off. Like I said, it's one of the damnest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if survival is the goal, he pulled it off.
Yeah. And for the Colts, it's about survival. They are hanging on to their playoff chances. If they would have thrown that rookie out there, they would have still lost. It would have been significantly worse than how they ended up eventually losing it to the Seahawks.
Yeah, it was funny to watch him move around up there. Like, oh yeah, this dude is definitely 44.
Yeah,
definitely.
He can step up in the pocket, but that lateral movement was a mother. That movement side to side was ooh-wee.
Poor guy.
It was rough for him. But no, the Niners, and we'll talk more about this on Thursday. But the Niners coming off of a win that they were supposed to get, and a win, if the results are what you care about the most, then the desired result was achieved. They beat the Titans, and they are basically now a lock to make the playoffs. It's just a matter of seeding. They could be the 6th seed, or they could end up being the 1 seed if things break their way. But for me, enjoying what you're seeing from the offense, Brock Purdy, his health is back where it needs to be. And we saw yesterday how important mobility is to Brock Purdy's entire game. And now going back to the game he played against Jacksonville, where he wasn't fully healthy, and then his first game back after getting fully healthy from that turf toe injury against Carolina, you can see when he doesn't have that full mobility, or when he's not 100% in terms of how he feels about being able to move, it lessens Brock Purdy's effectiveness as a quarterback. But when he can move in the pocket, as you saw in Cleveland, where he wasn't necessarily running, although he did have a scramble, but he was just able to move in the pocket laterally, unlike Phillip Rivers. And then yesterday, he was in full flower as far as his mobility. When Brock Purdy has that mobility to go along with his anticipation, to go along with his processing, how he sees the game, you get back to seeing, $260 million is a lot of money, but you see why he is a valued commodity in this league.
Well, I mean, one of the most underrated and underappreciated aspects of his game is his ability to move.
Yeah.
His mobility. I mean, he is such a slick and slippery guy, and he's really good throwing on the run.
Yes.
As long as he's not rushing or trying to force a play, the guy is tough.
Man, you're 100% correct. Bad Brock Purdy is when he tries to do too much. And he tries to do too much when he doesn't have his usual complement of weapons. And I'm not saying that he is a product of just having weapons, but when he doesn't have his full complement, he tries to do too much. And when he's not fully healthy, he tries to do too much. And to me, that the game you point to immediately is the game I just referenced a little while ago, the game against Carolina a couple of weeks ago, where they won it, but clearly he was trying to do too much because he wasn't fully healthy and he was compromised in terms of being, or not to say that he wasn't healthy. I don't think he trusted that he was fully healthy in that Carolina game, and it messed him up in the head. He tried to do too much, and he just, the thing about Brock Purdy, and the thing that makes a quarterback a good quarterback and maybe could take you to a great quarterback, is when you don't compound mistakes. Everybody's going to make a mistake, but when you make a mistake And then to try and compensate for that mistake being made, you invariably end up making another one that's going from bad to worse. In that Carolina game, he was compounding mistakes. These last couple of games, you haven't seen that.
Yeah, and I don't expect that you will see that the last few games of the season. I think the competition is such that it'll allow him to get healthy and play well before the real plays start to happen in the postseason. Wherever
I don't know about that, because the out of the three remaining games that are extremely important, all right?
Yeah.
If the Niners run the table and the Seahawks beat the Rams, the top seed in the NFC is in play. The Colts are a good football team, compromised at quarterback. Defensively, it's a better than average outfit, and that's going to pose a challenge. Not as good of a defense. But more of a challenge that you got from Tennessee. Not as good of a defense, obviously, as Cleveland, but a much better, much more representative defense compared to what you saw from Tennessee. The Bears, that I don't think the Niners are going to run the table, because I'll get to their run defense in just a second. To me, this is a big problem for them, and it's a problem that's going to keep them from achieving something significant here. But Colts are a good football team. The Bears are a really good football team, and it's a Bears defense that, again, it's better than average. Not Cleveland, not Houston, not Seattle, but it's a better than average defense. But that Bears offensive line and run game is going to give the Niners all sorts of issues. And Seattle, I think, again, is one of the best teams in football. Quarterbacking can be an issue right now, but Seattle's defense is really, 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 really good.
I don't like. I can't say I don't respect the Bears, but to me, the Bears are this year's Washington Commanders. They are winning games by the skins of the teeth. I don't disagree with that.
I don't disagree with that.
And I think that at some point, the bell strikes and this thing is over. Like, they can't keep pulling games out of their asses like they are.
I don't disagree with that. And I think, I feel like I've mentioned this before. Not to just get reductive and make it about quarterback play, because it's much more than that. But I do think the quarterback that doesn't compound mistakes is going to be the guy that leads his team to greater heights. And I do think with Caleb Williams, you could see him make a spectacular. That throw he made yesterday, rolling to his right, and it wasn't a great throw in terms of the actual, should you have made it? To me, it was one of those no, yes throws for a touchdown.
Exactly.
But the actual physical act of throwing the football, that was an incredible throw. He can do that, and then he can also miss a simple check down, as he did a couple of weeks ago against Green Bay when he threw that interception in the end zone when he had a guy 5 yards in front of him, and he probably would have scored. So I do think there's sort of a feast or famine thing with Caleb Williams. The reason I think the Bears are, I'll call them formidable, for lack of a better way of putting it, is because, again, their defense is better than average, but that offensive line and that run game, they can shorten games, they can keep them in games, and they can, if they get up and other mistakes are not made by the quarterback, they can put games away with that run game. And to me, this is where I think the Niners get in trouble here in these next few games, and I think it's going to be problematic for them in the playoffs. Is I'm very impressed with what they've done, and I understand it's about injuries as well, but a lot of guys are injured. A lot of teams are dealing with injuries, although it's been seemingly worse for the Niners. And that's why you have to give Kyle Shanahan credit for the job that he's done this year. But the Niners' run defense this season and over the last couple of weeks, if they play that same run defense, forget about the Bears in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They play that same run defense next week this time against Jonathan Taylor and the Colts, you're going to lose that football game, because what do the Colts want to do? As I mentioned, Phillip Rivers, it's all three-step drops, get the ball out quickly. He's not looking to throw the ball downfield. They want Jonathan Taylor to run the ball, get them in second and manageable, third and short, so they can get those quick passes there, or maybe even run the ball on third and short, because Taylor's that good, and he's a very good back catching the ball out of the backfield. If the Niners cannot stop Jonathan Taylor and they get into those short yardage situations, that's a problem. That's a huge, huge problem. And like, I look at the Niners, like yesterday, Tony Pollard averaged 7.4 yards per carry, 14 rushes for 104 yards. That's not good enough. That's absolutely not good enough. They missed 11 tackles yesterday against Cleveland. Judkins was 23 and 91. They ran the ball, Cleveland, 4.5 yards per game. They missed 15 tackles in that game. Carolina, it was only 13 carries for 69 yards, but that's 5.3 yards a game. Like that's so again, if 5.3 yards a game, 4.5 per carry, 4.5 yards per carry, that's 2nd and 6. Yeah. That's 2nd and 5. That's 2nd and 4. The entire playbook is open, even for a 44-year-old dude with a noodle arm and Phillip Rivers. The entire playbook is open. And this is not just something from the last few games. Houston averaged 4.5 yards per carry. The Giants averaged 5.5 yards per carry against the Niners. The Rams in the second Rams game, 4.6 yards per carry. It's not a run defense. It's not going to be injuries. It's not going to be Brock Purdy. That Niner run defense is what's going to keep them from a number 1 seed if that opens up, if the Rams lose to the Seahawks on Thursday. The Niners' inability to stop the run over the course of an entire game, that's going to be the reason that they don't do something special here in these next 3 games and possibly in the playoffs. It's just not good enough at this point.
Yeah, I see them losing one more time, but I think they get through the other 2 games.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're right, and I hope I am dead wrong. I hope I'm dead wrong. I think if they're able to get to Seattle with the number 1 seed on the line, or going from a 5 seed to a 6 seed, not that it really matters. If they're the 5 seed, they'll play whoever wins the NFC South between Carolina and Tampa. If there's a 6 seed, more than likely the Niners will go to Philadelphia. They're not scared of that proposition. I think if the Niners are able to get through these next couple of games and their run defense, I'm not looking for them to beat the 85 Bears. I just need them to not give up 5.5 yards per carry because of the stress it puts on the rest of that defense. They already don't have that great of a pass rush, and you have a secondary where it can be interesting at times.
And the stress that it puts on the offense, because it's not like these dudes out there going out there putting up a bunch of points every week.
Well, so. I think the offense can handle that stress, but that stress you don't want. That stress that you don't want to have to deal with for these next 3 weeks and however long you're in the playoffs. So I think about the run game or the run defense and how it affects the entire defense, and to your point, how it affects the offense possibly, and how it affects the entire get down. Just to see it this season, but particularly over these last with a bye week in between. The whole thought was, well, all right, they missed 15 tackles against Cleveland. They'll clean that up. They were tired. The latest bye week that you could have into week 14. So they were tired. That's why they were missing tackles. Then they missed 11 yesterday. All right, 11 is better than 15. Still too many, and it's still the same thing, and it's still the same guys missing tackles.
Yeah, I mean, last man up mentality can only last you so long. Coaching can only last you so long. You got to have the talent at some point.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think that Shanahan has done a fantastic job this year. Getting them to this point is, to be completely honest with you, far better than I expected him to look. Far better than I expected them to be. And the fact that they're going to get into the playoffs with a shot to do something is stunning to me. But, these guys have to keep it together for a few more weeks.
And here's another thing that troubles me about the Niners' run defense, and again, to your point, Mark, is how it could affect the Niners' offense. The Niners have been good on third down. I will give them on both sides of the ball. Offensively, third down, spectacular. Red zone, spectacular. getting off the field on third down. The Niners have been able to do that. I mean, it's a bend but don't break defense. I don't think it's a philosophy. I think that's just kind of the way they're getting down because of the injuries and because of the youth on the back end. They give up rushing yards, but they don't give up rushing touchdowns. And again, if you're just about the results, which I understand, if the result is you're not giving up rushing touchdowns or you eventually get off the field, okay. But I do think you have to pay attention to the process. And if the process, part of that process is your run defense, you can get hit for big runs, or teams can use their running game effectively against you, even if it's for a drive or two, that could be enough to keep the best unit of the Niners, their offense, off of the field. I think back to the Cleveland game. This just popped into my head. They ran the ball, Cleveland, I want to say it was like 9 straight times. They only scored 1 touchdown.
Yep.
They ran the ball on that touchdown drive 9 consecutive times with great success. I think back to yesterday. There was a drive for the Titans where they got Tony Pollard going, and Tony Pollard was the tip of the spear. The more teams are able to run the ball, that's less time the Niners offense is on the field.
Facts.
And if the Niners offense isn't on the field scoring points and that defense is exposed because it can't get off the field because they can't stop the run, you're going to lose that football game because of the competition you're seeing, starting with the Colts.
Yep. Amen.
So I feel like the canary in the coal mine. Great. Yeah, everybody's enjoying what the Niners are doing right now. And I'm like, man, shut up.
I think it's realistic. I mean, I think you're being realistic about it. Like, what they've done is amazing. Everything from here on out is gravy for them.
Yeah. And again, the numbers don't lie. It's just looking at these averages, man, in yards per carry. There's no way that Tony Pollard should average 7.5 yards carry. Come on, man. You go back and look at Tony Pollard's game log. Okay. Had a good game against Cleveland, but it was 2 long touchdown runs that bumped his yardage up there. And again, Niners didn't let him get into the end zone. Okay. You know what? That's good. The result, great. But if you're seeing a better team, as you will against the Colts,
yes, sir,
that has a superior running game and they have something to play for, you give up 7.5 yards a carry to Jonathan Taylor, your offense ain't on the field and you lose the game.
Amen.
You give up 5.5 yards a carry to the Bears, your offense ain't on the field and you lose the game.
How many years has Jonathan Taylor been playing?
That's a good question. Boy, long enough to where my TV partner Tom Rathman was his coach. So I want to say it's been about 4 years. 4 years or so. Yeah. Because I remember playing in college. I remember him at Wisconsin. So we're probably talking 4 years now. I think it is 4 years because I don't remember him being, or did he get a new contract? I was about to say I don't remember him getting off of his rookie deal, but maybe he's done that. So let's say 4 or 5 years, somewhere around.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Anything jump out at you? Week 15. I love December football, by the way. This is real football. I love it any way I can get it. But, that football we get in September and October and before Thanksgiving is great, but it ain't that real. It's not that big boy football that we're getting right now. I love it.
Well, what jumps out at me is that clearly the Raiders are trying to get that number 1 pick and grab that Heisman Trophy winning. Mendoza's a bad boy. Let's see what we can do out here.
I don't know if they're trying to do that or they're just a bad football. I don't think they're smart enough to tank.
They've got like 2 legitimate talents on that team.
Max Crosby and who?
Well, I forgot about Max, but you got Max and you got Bauer
Genty.
And you got Genty. Other than that, you can take that bag of hammers and throw them out the window because those dudes are terribly. That's what you got to be tanking. You got to be tanking. That quarterback room is awful. Is there a worse quarterback room? I don't think so.
Oh man, they are. Absolutely terrible. Yeah, I just think they're bad. I don't know if they're tanking. I just think
They are bad.
they're just a bad organization.
They are bad.
So watch them mess around though and win a game that they don't need to win, and give the Giants that number 1 pick.
Don't do it. Like, it's too late now.
Yeah.
It's too late now. Just go ahead and lose.
Do you say Fernando Mendoza? Well, I mean, I don't know. I was about to slander old boy.
I like him.
I don't know how good of a pro he's going to be, but who knows at this point? Who knows anything? Yeah. We had a 44-year-old man play an entire 60-minute football game in 2025. Who, what do we know about quarterbacking now? No clue. Absolutely no clue. Absolutely no clue. The chat is active as always. The homie Dom, he always comes through.
6 seasons.
6 seasons for Jonathan Taylor. So yeah, I guess he did get a new contract. So
a new deal.
What else? What else went down in the NFL yesterday? Buffalo Bills keep pulling it out of the fire.
Oh, so yeah, that is. Again, you can't keep winning games this way.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can.
Maybe you can. Buy it.
Maybe you can. Other than the Rams, there is no team that is. You just look at them and go, they're solid in all 3 phases. Solid coaching, excellent quarterback play. Every single team that is either in the playoffs or in the hunt, which the Cowboys and the Chiefs are not. Every team that's in the playoffs or in the hunt has a side of the ball they're really good at, has some excellent players, but they also have some flaws. The Rams, other than special teams, which can be an issue, and special teams is always an issue at the time when you absolutely don't want it to be an issue. But the Rams are the most complete team. Well coached. Quarterback play is outstanding. Not having because he tore his hamstring yesterday and don't know how long he's going to be out, but not having I'm blanking on his name right now. Devontae Adams, not having him is going to be problematic, but you still got Puka Nacua. You still, again, a very, very good Rams team offensively, a very good Rams team defensively. They are complete. Everybody else is doing it in different ways. And it might not be aesthetically pleasing, but it's getting the job done. And I think you throw Buffalo in there. Buffalo's defense is at best, and it can be a challenge for Josh Allen to have consistent guys around him offensively. But you got Josh Allen, and all you need is a little bit of defense and a little bit from the guys around Josh Allen, and you are going to get excellent play from Josh Allen many more times than you're not going to.
Yeah, my feeling is that with these teams that have a year filled with a bunch of comebacks, it typically comes crashing down. There's a reason that you keep falling behind.
Yeah,
and you keep having these teams keep getting big leads on you. At some point, you ain't going to be able to dig. You spend so much energy just getting back into the game.
Yeah.
I can't see that happening in the playoffs where everything is ratcheted up so much. Like, I just can't see that.
It's a dangerous way to live, but again, with
it's exciting.
It's exciting for sure, without a doubt. But with so many of these playoff teams being talented yet flawed, it's like I said, it's a tough way to live. But that's just kind of how everybody's doing it right now. You know what I mean? It's not optimal, but it's not a death sentence. And I do think playing that type of football, meaningful football in December, if you do find yourself in those tricky situations, I do think that experience can pay dividends, down the road here as you start to get to games that are of extreme consequence. Obviously the playoffs where it's, either win or you go home. So yeah, I mean, it's one of those where you're just like, man, that's a tough way to go about it. But then you're just like, yeah, but you pulled it off. So again, it's if you are results based, which most people are, when it comes to football or any sport, did we win or did we lose? If the result is positive, we won. You just like, fuck it, and then you move on. Survive in advance.
Covers up everything.
Winning covers up everything.
Facts.
Absolutely everything. Which is why the Golden State Warriors' flaws are laid bare for the world to see.
Mm.
There's a lot of basketball left to be played. And
Yeah.
who knows what this Warrior team is going to look like starting January 15th when that date becomes available for Jonathan Kuminga to be traded, because it's a wrap. All right. And Stevie Wonder can see it. I'm not telling anybody anything they don't know. But if you didn't know, is a wrap between Jonathan Kuminga and the Golden State Warriors. So again, who knows what this team is going to look like from a personnel standpoint.
I think I've just kind of finally come to the conclusion that it's just one amazing player, two very good players, and then a bunch of dudes.
Yep.
A bunch of dudes. And they get buoyed by the other three.
Yep.
But it's just a bunch of dudes. I actually thought size was the problem, but I actually have a different opinion now. I think athleticism is their problem.
Yes. Here's the problem. It's not problem. It's problems. Okay.
Well, I think back to when they last won the title, and they were literally the smallest team in the league, and they had a 6'9" center in Kevon Looney, and they still beat a team that was quote unquote much more athletic, bigger, etc.
But they had size and athleticism, which is what they
do not have now. They had size.
Right.
They didn't have size.
Yes. They you know what? What they had was, okay, everybody, settle down. They had length. This is what they had. They had wings and guards who could defend.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Much younger GP too. GP. Who else they have in the squad? Who's my man who lived on 98? Yeah. I mean, it was like you got a 7-foot guy now who does the best he can.
Yeah. But he doesn't have any athleticism. And, you're just now getting to the point where he is not being completely bullied in the post.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about post. But you don't want him out there covering anybody on the perimeter. And so your point, thinking about Kevon Looney, when he came back, I was doing pre and post when the Pelicans came to town, and that's when they celebrated Kevon Looney as they should.
Yeah.
And, for me, Kevon Looney, what made him indispensable was he could guard guys on the perimeter. Like I think about him guarding James Harden legitimately and giving James Harden problems on the perimeter. You didn't want to live like that all the time, but when you needed to have that happen a handful of times, bam, Kevon Looney was there. You don't have that right now. And so what you have is what we've seen over and over and over again. And we just saw it again. It was last night against the Trailblazers. They can't stop anybody on the perimeter. So you get to the hole anytime you want to. And then if that is not finished, at the rim, that ball gets out, it starts to swing. The Warriors overhelp, and they leave guys in the corner open for
by themselves.
Why by them? I mean, just butt booty naked. Why? Because they have to overhelp, because they don't have any athleticism and length on the perimeter to keep guys from getting to the basket. And this happens it's happened now 3 times this season against the Trailblazers. We saw the Rockets mush him in the face. What was the game a couple of days ago before the Trailblazer game? I forget what it was, but it's the same. It's the same thing over and over and over again.
OKC? Was it OKC?
OKC? No. Well, I mean, the OKC game, they got mushed. Oh, what was the game? I forget what it was. But over and over again, we're seeing the same thing with the Warriors. Is that
I think that people's expectations, including my own, may have been overinflated just simply because of the way they closed out last year.
But Minnesota, that's who. Thank you for reminding me. It was Minnesota. Yeah, and it was the same thing over and over again. Yeah.
But these young teams are so athletic, and they're just so much more athletic. Yeah. And when you got pods, none of these guys are athletic, which is crazy to me. And that's really the only quote unquote talent Jonathan Kuminga has over everybody else. And he's not even really great at using that talent.
So what the Warriors are is exactly what you described. A collection of guys, Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green, who have their issues, but you're better with them you're better playing them than not playing them. Can they play together remains to be a question. Jimmy Butler has been passive the last 5 quarters, very passive in the fourth quarter against Minnesota. Last night against Portland, seemingly passive. So 2 guys who are good basketball players, but they have their issues. And then Steph Curry, who is an amazing, amazing basketball player, who has God-given talent that he has honed to perfection. And for a lot of Warrior fans, but I think for every Warrior fan, it is frustrating to watch Steph be Steph, still be great. What was it, 48 against the Blazers last night? Cracked open a 40, and those performances end up in losses because the Warriors are so flawed in other places. The Warriors are they're just a mid team, and mid is going to get you possibly into the play-in tournament.
Yep,
possibly.
I mean, unless something happens, like another coach is not going to make this team better.
Of course not. No.
Put it that way.
Of course not.
You need more players. You need
players. I was about to say, another coach is not going to make this better, and one player is not going to make this better.
And if it was one player, that you still have to end up being crappy because you got what you got to give up to get that one player.
It's not
in the exact same place.
Exactly. It's not going to be a 1-for-1. It's not going to be Jonathan Kuminga and Trey Murphy from the Pelicans. Like, Trey Murphy's not going to make you better. Sure, fine. Yeah, he'd be nice to have on your team with some other guys.
Yeah,
but it's not just a one guy thing. So for the Warriors right now, they are in a state of flux. But they have lost 2 games in a row. Where now it's back to, oh man, what's wrong with the Warriors? As we've just detailed, and several things wrong with them. But it was only this time last week that the Warriors went on a 3-game East Coast road trip and were a botched inbounds play, mainly due to Buddy Hield bringing his guy over there, and a block shot from going 3-0 on that 3-game road trip. And everyone's like, oh, okay, this is the game the Warriors can't play. Everybody was talking real big about Pat Spencer. So that was only a week ago. It's like the stock market, man. There's going to be peaks and valleys. And if you're a Warrior fan, you just have to steel yourself and expect to ride these peaks and valleys until they figure out what they're going to do with Jonathan Kuminga and how they're going to get more guys to give them what they need, which is length and athleticism at the wing position, the forward position, big guard position, to help them with what I believe to be is their main problem, which has not been able to guard guys on the perimeter.
And I think Warrior fans need to gain some perspective. It shows how spoiled they've become when 15 years ago, if they were at 500 or a game above or below, this place is talking. We got a shot.
Yeah,
we got a shot.
Well, the biggest complaint, I understand it, is you're wasting Steph, and I get it. I get it. I'll say this though. Nothing on that team happens without Steph being involved one way or another.
100%.
Okay. Not saying he's making personnel decisions. Not saying he's the de facto general manager, but the way they play and who plays with him on the court, none of that is happening without it being run by Steph Curry first. And that's just the way it is.
And folks would have to realize, like, if you remove Steph Curry from this equation, you are basically starting all over, because that offense doesn't work without Steph Curry in there.
Yeah. And you cannot like that offense to where it's Steph off the ball. And to me, it's the best version of Steph. Steph off the ball, running off screens. If you don't like that, then you don't like how Steph Curry likes to play basketball.
Amen. And even Steph didn't want to do it at first until he figured, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Killing everybody now.
Until he started getting open shots and winning MVPs and championships. He's like,
hang on, this is not bad.
this
is
shit
not
might
bad.
work, dog. This might
Yeah.
work.
I
bang
would
with
not
this
be
now.
mad. I can't. I'll always be disappointed when my favorite team loses or doesn't play well. But I'm not gonna sit here and have a cow over it because when you taste the kind of run the Warriors have had over the last 15 years,
Mhm.
you how can you be bitter? How can you be
Yeah.
mad?
Yeah.
When you went 20 years prior to that with nothing, how can you be mad?
Well, you could clearly tell how people feel about what's happening right now or how exercise they do or do not get. You can tell when that person really started to become a Warrior fan. And it's not
Yeah,
necessarily even a criticism. I
yeah.
just think it's I mean, I'm probably going to tear a rotator cuff, pat myself here on the back, but I think it's a astute observation. Is
Yeah.
that the people who are looking at this like, I mean, well, this, it's not great, but I understand the bigger picture. I understand where we've come from recently and where we've come from way back in the past, and it could be better, and I want it to be better, but I'm not going to get all that exercised about it. These are people who
No.
remember the great timeout days, which were not so great. If
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't know what I'm talking about, and before
Yeah.
that, the
Yeah.
people who are just foaming at the mouth, about 2 timelines.
Oh,
These are people that came around
yeah.
about what,
Yeah.
2013,
Yeah.
20,
Exactly
let's
right.
say 2010. Let's say
Exactly
2010.
right. This is,
Um,
I mean, Steve Kerr used to say it from jump. Like, this is not real basketball. This is not how most
Yeah.
teams live.
Yeah.
And he very, very, very appreciative. Like, yeah, it's going to be over someday.
Yeah.
And you got to accept it.
Yeah.
The Bulls ended their run. It all comes to an end at some point.
Yeah. And again, I understand, looking at Steph's brilliance, night in, night out, basically, and just like, man, if he had a little bit more help, you could really get something out of this. And sure, want your franchise to be better,
Sure.
push them to be better if you have that desire and that ability. But I do think, everything's finite, man. And
Yeah, unless you can convince Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler to take 50% discounts on those $50 million contracts, that's where you're gonna be. That's where you're gonna be.
It bees like that
Yeah.
sometimes. How about we do some on this date? How you feel
Let's
about
do
that?
it.
On this date, as we are rapidly approaching the day of the birth of the Lord baby Jesus, on this date, December 15th. I don't know if you know this about me, Marcus, but I have favorite amendments in the Constitution.
Oh,
And
good.
one of my favorite amendments is the 21st Amendment. And on this date, in 1933, the 21st Amendment to the United States Constitution became effective, repealing my least favorite amendment, the 18th Amendment, that prohibited the sale, manufacture, and transportation of alcohol. On this date, prohibition ended, and we got our inalienable right to get shit-faced drunk given to us by the United States Constitution. And while this country, for many years,
Yeah.
for about 250 years, has had its many flaws, let's give this country credit for righting one of its biggest wrongs and giving us one of my favorite amendments to the Constitution of the United States of America, the 21st Amendment, which became effective on this date, December 15th, back in 1933. Have a drink.
We need that weed amendment. Quit playing around. Quit playing.
Amendment 420.
That's exactly right. Like, let's stop playing. This is what the people want.
I'm going to go out of chronological order here.
Cool.
And save the best for last. On this date in 1995, the cinematic classic Heat premiered in theaters. Al Pacino overacts, but that's what Al Pacino is doing at this point in his career. I guess he's still doing it if he were put in movies. Al Pacino chews on some scenes. But, man, you can't tell me that Heat is not a damn near perfect movie.
I've got no bad things to say about this film. Like, this is a perfect motion picture.
Oh, my God. It's so good.
If it's on, I will watch it.
Absolutely. It is one of those classics where if you run across it on television, you will watch it to its conclusion. Man, what coming across Heat right before the shootout scene is like finding $20 in your pants pocket when you're doing laundry. You just you feel like, you know what? I'm one of God's favorite children.
Yeah, God, Tom Sizemore was so good in that too.
So good.
Yeah. What a great actor he was. Tom Sizemore.
Oh yeah. World-class asshole, terrible person. But just like all these people, all these actors in the movie, Pacino, De Niro, Val Kilmer. Man, just such
Ashley Judd.
Ashley Judd, yeah, that's right.
Oh, and who was the chick who played Pacino's girlfriend? Oh my God.
I'll look up the cast here, see if I can
find
it.
Man. Dark-haired lady. What
I think about that line from Al Pacino. Hank Azaria is in Heat. Because he's messing around with Al Pacino's wife.
That's
and Al
right.
Pacino, what is it like? It's because she's got a great ass. Like Al Pacino at his scene chewingest. Was it Amy Brenneman?
Yes.
Was it Amy?
No, that was De Niro's girlfriend.
Okay. Oh,
Amy
yeah,
Brenneman,
that's
Amy
right.
Brenneman
That's
was
right.
girlfriend.
Diane Venora. Maybe that's her name. I don't know. I'll see if I can find Michael T. Williamson. I forgot he was in that movie.
Indeed.
Yeah, man. So the cinematic classic Heat premiered in theaters on this date in 1995. Like I said, I wanted to go out of chronological order and save the best for last. You'll understand my choice of t-shirt today when I tell you that on this date in 1975, Parliament dropped Mothership Connection.
Come on, man.
On this date, 50 years ago, we got one of the greatest funk albums of all time, one of the greatest albums in American popular music. And if it weren't for this album, we would not have the next thing I'm going to show you here for on this date. But yeah, Parliament, Mothership Connection dropped on this date back in 1975. Just like we've talked about, how mind-blowing it must have been to hear Jimi Hendrix for the first time and to hear Led Zeppelin for the first time. How mind-blowing it must have been to hear this album for the first time.
Boy. You know what's crazy is, like, I'm one of those people who I feel like everyone should go and see the greatest live performers when they're at their peak, when they can. Like, don't pass up the opportunity. Yep. And I wish that my uncle, it's weird that my uncle would not take me to see Parliament.
Really?
I don't know why. I don't know why he wouldn't take me to see Parliament.
I mean, probably because there was a guy on stage wearing a diaper. Diaper man. Who, yes. What was his name? Diaper man. Why? He's a man wearing a diaper. You know what? I enjoy the simplicity of that.
God, man. Make my funk the P-funk.
I wants to get funked up.
Oh,
yeah, man. Give up the funk till the roof off the sucker is on this album. Mothership Connection.
That's a vinyl play.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's a vinyl play.
Yeah. So on this date, 50 years ago, I think he's a genius. And it is amazing that he is still with us. But George Clinton and his Parliament collective dropped seminal album, Mothership Connection, on this date in 1975. And maybe, just maybe, this is a happy coincidence, but I get a sense that it's not, because if it weren't for this album and the mind and the works of George Clinton and Parliament and Funkadelic, we wouldn't have gotten what we got on this date December 15th in 1992. This is the day. I mean, to me, it's the day that hip hop changed. Dr.
Yep.
Dre dropped the Chronic on us
Mhm.
on this date in 1992. You don't
Yep.
get the Chronic if you don't have Parliament and Mothership Connection and
Yep.
their works from the years and Funkadelic's works from the years. You don't get Dr. Dre and the Chronic and West Coast rap as we know it and G-Funk and
Yep.
what that birthed. You don't get any of that if you don't have George Clinton and his genius. And we got that with Dr. Dre and the Chronic on this day in 1992. And like I said, I think it's the day that hip hop changed because it showed us what you could do with the genre sonically. Because there's nothing that sounded like the Chronic before we got the Chronic. And quite frankly, there's nothing that sounds like the Chronic since. I think there's been imitations.
Yep.
There's been people who've tried to copy it with some success. Most have not had success. But you just go and listen to the Chronic.
Well, I mean,
it's hard to explain, but it's just different.
That album is one of those rare albums where it is legitimately a time capsule. It's a snapshot in time.
Yeah.
Like everything in pop culture revolved around that album. I'll be honest with you, it was really the first time where I actually saw white folks en masse going crazy to gangster shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this is different. Like, they know who Snoop Dogg. They knew who Snoop Dogg was. Like, this is crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an amazing work of art. And like I said, the way, hip hop was established by that time. We had gotten past the boom bap era, and 1988, 1989, were golden years in rap. And you got some California influence, but it was still a West Coast thing. The South was doing its thing, and we all know, how the South truly did have something to say, like Andre 3000 said at the Source Awards. Was that in '92? I forget exactly, but and the South did indeed have something to say. But I mean, this right here, the Chronic just showed you that rap's potential was damn near limitless. You know what I mean?
You think about, and I've said this in all seriousness many, many times over the past 15 years. Dr. Dre is probably one of the 10 most important people in the history of popular music. When you think about the tree that comes from Dr. Dre, you got Ice Cube and Eazy-E, NWA. You got 50 Cent, which gives you Eminem, Tupac, the whole Death Row, Snoop, all these cats. It's just crazy. Dog Pound. All these things came off the tree of Dr. Dre. And then I didn't talk about Kendrick Lamar and who was my boy who sang. Anderson .Paak, another Dre.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy how much he's contributed.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think, though.
I forgot the DOC. Thank you.
Yes, the great DOC.
Thank you,
absolutely.
DOC.
I do think, though, and this happens, I think the Chronic being just a work of genius art, I do think that has been the big reason why Dre is to have that hit the way it did. And obviously he's released things after that, but everything is going to always go back and get compared to the Chronic. And I think that has handcuffed him for the past 30 years. I really, really do.
I mean, it's such a difficult thing when you are one of those people who's lucky enough to create the type of music that actually sets culture. How do you follow that up? It's rarely ever been done. Michael Jackson may have been the closest to ever get there when he followed Thriller with Bad. Oh, and by the way, he had Off the Wall right before that. So that's a crazy run that will never happen again.
Yeah. So there you go, folks. On this date, December 15th, all the way back in 1933, we got the right to get faded again via that demon alcohol with the 21st Amendment to the Constitution. Heat premiered in 1995. Parliament dropped Mothership Connection in 1875, and The Chronic was dropped on this date, December 15th, 1992. We always wrap up the show with the best thing that I have seen today. I play it in hopes that it will become the best thing that you will have seen today. Marcus, you know that I'm a big fan of animal videos.
Yeah.
I'm simple brained that way. Animal human encounters are my favorites, but animal encounters, those do just fine. Today I have an animal encounter that I've watched this video, I mean, probably 24 times since I've seen it. So this is the best thing I've seen today, and it's a turtle running up on the dog. The dog's minding its own business, but the turtle wants that smoke. The dog's like, man, I'm not trying to mess with you right now. But the turtle's like, nah, brother, you're gonna acknowledge me. Oh, it's on. The dog's like, brother, I'm not. The turtle still want that smoke. The dog's like, no, that's it. The dog stomps him out. And it just leaves.
And now the turtle is, how did we get here? How did we get here?
Run up, get done up. See, that's why you see. That's why you don't need to just be starting shit. Okay, that turtle, tortoise, that prehistoric creature could have left that dog alone, minding its own business, and that dog tried to let him slide. But homie here kept pushing the issue, and what happened? Now you're on your back. Okay,
he's that way.
Underside exposed, ass out. Okay, so let this be a learning experience for some folks. Just leave well enough alone. Okay, don't what you want to be is you want to be the dog. Okay, mind your business. Try to let him slide. Don't be the tortoise. Okay, don't be the tortoise looking for that work.
And then when you get that world, that's a running start.
Oh no! He was on some bullshit.
Yeah.
He was when he stomps him out though, right there.
He put a Draymond on him. That's what it was.
I didn't think about that as a Draymond Sabonis comp, but yeah, that
stomp his chest and keep it moving.
There you go. So yeah, just be like the dog. Don't be like the turtle. Don't start none, won't be none, and you won't end up like the turtle. So yeah, that's the best thing I've seen today.
Sweet.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm a child. Have you watched the Diddy documentary?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it on Thursday.
Yes,
talk about it on
let's
Thursday.
do that. I got lots of thoughts.
Because wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit! What a scumbag! Ooh, boy. Goodness gracious, man! There was somebody would have flipped him on his back like the Black Dog did this tortoise.
Shout out Rob Reiner.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Rob Reiner.
It is just almost too sad to talk about. Yeah, tragic. Yeah, just absolutely tragic. And anybody with a heart can see how tragic of a situation that is. But apparently, one person just anyway. We're just not. Yeah, we're not going to do it. There we go. So yeah, thanks to our fine sponsor, the folks at Hop Monk, for their continuing sponsorship of this fine program. And make sure you check out all 3 of their locations, Sonoma, Sebastopol, and in Novato. To see what they have coming up live entertainment-wise, maybe you could check out a burlesque show. Check them out online at hopmonk.com or follow them on all of the socials. To the Quality Hangers, our repeated viewers and the fine folks in the comments. We see you. We thank you. We appreciate you. And we will see you on Thursday. How are we feeling about it, Marcus?
Let's do it, baby.
All right, guys. Have yourselves a great rest of your evening and the rest of your week. We'll see you on Thursday. And as always, be good and be good at it. We'll see you. Bye.